The time has come. It is time for the World Cultural Council Awards ceremony. Please rise for the opening procession. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. My name is Rosalia Felice, and it is my immense honor to be with you this afternoon on this day of great celebration. Welcome to the 39th award ceremony of the World Cultural Council, hosted by McGill University. We are blessed to mark the special occasion in this very building, the Faculty Club, one of the gems of McGill's downtown campus, that recently celebrated its 100th birthday. I would like to acknowledge and praise the delightful sounds of the musical trio, namely Lily Richards, Fiona Marchetta, and Hudson Menace from the Schulich School of Music, who performed aria from the Goldberg Variations by Bach during the opening procession. Luckily, you'll get to hear a lot more of them. I'm honored to invite one of Canada's most respected First Nations leaders, faith keeper Ganatarinun Michael Mitchell of the Akwesasne community, to lead us in officially opening the 39th award ceremony of the World Cultural Council.
Sego, awego what's going on? Nejiona, go on the Riwatanti, go you watching him get the looks. Negadi, Neke, Sotogum, Ladi Avi, Lodiwana, what's going on? I've been asked to journey down here by my McGill colleagues to give a welcome to all the people that are going to be gathered here for a very special occasion. Just to pass along, the reason that he invited me here is to acknowledge the Haudenosaunee people that once was their homeland. And to me, as a member of the Haudenosaunee, as a member of the Mohawks, who are the eastern doorkeepers of this area, that we also wanted to cheerfully congratulate the people who are going to be receiving the awards. Before everyone says their speeches and acknowledgement of what's going to happen, I was also asked if I would say something that we call the words that come before all else, which is, some people would say, a short prayer. I call it Ohando Gariwadekwa. and it's usually done when people gather. It is our tradition, and we want to share that with you. We start by acknowledging the Creator who gave us life. We thank Him for the life that we have today, that we're able to walk the land that we call Mother Earth. And on Mother Earth, we are grateful to have water, air on the land. And on that land, there are animals, bird life, all kinds of life in creation. And every one of them are very important to all of us in all of creation. Above the land, there is 2 moons. One at night we call Grandmother Moon, and one during the day we call our elder brother. And from the beginning of time, they have done their duty in providing a very important source for all of us that live on the land. It is said that we are always grateful for the life that we have. We should always be grateful for all forms of life that live in creation. And so our ancestors passed this down. We have ceremonies to acknowledge all living things, specifically throughout the year. When it's time to plant, when it's time to give names, when it's time to celebrate the change of season. And all these things are still with us. For Ganyagahaga, which is the Mohawk Nation, we still do our ceremonies in that way. Always thankful for the land, Mother Earth, and everything on Mother Earth. We say, Nyawa, thank you for this day. Thank you for seeing all my relatives, and thank you for this day. So today we celebrate great achievements by certain people of the world and distinguished people that have come together. And so I've been asked to come up here. I just want to pass on, for me, I was Grand Chief of Akwesasne for 32 years, elected Grand Chief, but I was also the faith keeper in our traditional ceremonial longhouse. So I live both worlds, and I've traveled all over. So I've met all kinds of people. And I go home and I tell my grandfather, there are a lot of good people out there. Because he always asked me, what kind of people do you meet out there? And so it's been my experience that everywhere I have gone, I have seen all kinds, and I always refer to them, Yuwedio, good people. So today, we acknowledge all the people that have gathered. And we put all our minds together, thank the Creator for today, and thank Him for the celebrations that we're going to have. And all the people that are going to be receiving the award today. Yawakoa, thank you very much.
On behalf of the World Cultural Council and McGill University, thank you for those inspiring words, for setting the right tone to start this wonderful ceremony. We appreciate it very much. It is now my pleasure to invite McGill Provost and Executive Vice President Academic, Christopher Manfredi, to deliver the opening remarks for today's ceremony.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 39th Annual World Cultural Council Award ceremony at McGill University. Bonjour, bienvenue à toutes et tous à cette 39e cérémonie de remise des prix du Conseil culturel mondial. Niawagawa Faithkeeper Mike for opening this ceremony by offering the words that come before all else and for welcoming us to the traditional Kanien'kehá:ka territory. As we gather this afternoon, we recognize that McGill University is on land which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations, and we acknowledge and thank the diverse Indigenous peoples whose presence marks this territory on which peoples of the world now gather. Esteemed members of the Platform Party, distinguished guests, it is an honor to welcome you to McGill University here in Montreal, Quebec, a city that is as much renowned for its vibrant multiculturalism as it is for its innovation in the arts, health sciences, and technology, to name just a few. McGill University traces its origins to 1821, when King George IV of England granted the Royal Institution for the Advancement of Learning a royal charter to found McGill College. From its early days, more than 200 years ago, our university has grown to comprise 3 main campuses, 12 faculties, and 17 schools. We are a diverse community, some 50,000 strong, of students, faculty, and staff, with over 300,000 alumni in nearly every country on this planet. McGillians are the leaders of countries, they are entrepreneurs and Supreme Court justices, they are Nobel laureates, Olympians, and even astronauts. Above all, we are a community that is committed to leveraging our teaching and research excellence to serve society and improve our world. Through these aspirations, we had commonality with the World Cultural Council and its awards in the fields of science, education, and culture. The purpose of this afternoon's award ceremony is, I believe, multifaceted. First, it is, of course, a wonderful occasion to celebrate the work of 2 outstanding individuals, both richly deserving of recognition. In just a few moments, we will bestow upon Irish author, playwright, and filmmaker Cónal Creedon the Leonardo da Vinci World Award of Arts, and upon Danish evolutionary biologist Eske Willerslev the Albert Einstein World Award of Science. We look forward to honoring their work and achievements momentarily. Second, by highlighting their contributions, along with those of 4 promising McGill scholars also honored here this afternoon, we are reminded of the powers of the arts and sciences to deepen our understanding of our own humanity and our interconnectedness to the environment that surrounds us. In a world of increased polarization and division, where the tendency to retreat into our own echo chambers is all too common, returning to this notion of our shared humanity and connection is more important than ever. Finally, this evening also represents a chance to recommit our efforts to advancing knowledge and improving the well-being of our world. The major challenges that this planet faces today, whether it is climate change, public health, food security, environmental sustainability, protecting democracy, and so on, are all extremely complex. The search for their solutions requires the deployment of expertise that is equally complex and beyond the capabilities of any single organization or even nation. Rather, it necessitates widespread, interdisciplinary collaboration. Universities have an important role to play, not only through the breadth and depth of expertise that they cultivate, but also through their convening ability, bringing key partners together toward a common goal. By gathering here this afternoon, many of us from different parts of the world, and each with our areas of knowledge and expertise, we are reminded of the importance of working together to address these and other complex issues in order to propel humanity ever forward. So once again, on behalf of McGill University, I am delighted to welcome you to this 39th Annual World Cultural Council ceremony, an occasion for celebration and reflection. I wish you all an excellent, most inspiring afternoon. Merci et bon après-midi.
Thank you, Professor Manfredi. I think now's a good time to let you know that this ceremony is being live streamed on McGill's YouTube channel and will also be recorded on the WCC website. The reason I say that is if your cell phone is still on and it happens to ring, everyone will see it live. So just a reminder to turn it off. Thank you so much. I'm now happy to invite Professor Omar Yaghi, winner of the 2016 Albert Einstein Award, to deliver the salutatory address on behalf of Sir Fraser Stoddart. President of the World Cultural Council.
Thank you very much. I'd like to read a statement from Sir Fraser Stoddart, who couldn't be here today for health reasons. So I'll read the statements to you. Dear Provost Chris Manfredi, esteemed colleagues, distinguished friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pleasure and honor that the World Cultural Council celebrates its 39th award ceremony at McGill University, one of the foremost centers of excellence not only in Canada but across the globe. We are deeply gratified to strengthen our partnership with such an esteemed institution, as this event reflects the shared values that bind us together in our mission to advance the welfare of humanity. The celebration resonates profoundly with the vision of the World Cultural Council, which seeks to foster a global culture of mutual respect and understanding. We strive for a world where diverse perspectives are embraced and cultures act as beacons of progress, enriching our lives through their endless capacity to inspire, enlighten, and transform. During my time in Canada from 1967 to 1970, Sir Fraser Stoddart, had the privilege of visiting McGill University frequently, and I became well acquainted with its rich legacy, which spans over 2 centuries since the granting of its Royal Charter. Although health circumstances prevent my presence today, I remain profoundly honored to be part of this prestigious occasion. I extend my deepest thanks to McGill University for hosting this remarkable event, and also to Aloha Communication for their generous sponsorship of our social media presence. Tonight, we gather to celebrate 2 exceptional individuals whose work embodies the spirit of innovation and creativity that the World Cultural Council strives to recognize. Professor Eske Willerslev, an evolutionary geneticist of immense repute, has made groundbreaking discoveries that have transformed our understanding of human origins, migration patterns, and adaptations. His tireless research has shed light on the history of our species in ways that were previously unimaginable, earning him the Albert Einstein World Award of Science 2024. Likewise, we honor Cónal Creedon, a multi-talented novelist, playwright, and film maker, whose insightful exploration of the human condition have enriched the global artistic landscape. Through his vast body of work, he has deepened our understanding of life's complexities and has rightfully been awarded the Leonardo da Vinci World Award of Arts 2024. These 2 laureates epitomize the mission of the World Cultural Council to elevate and reward those who, through their remarkable achievements, inspire us all. Their contributions reflect the pinnacle of human intellect, creativity, and endeavor. Additionally, we celebrate the extraordinary promise of 4 young Canadian researchers who have demonstrated an admirable commitment to pushing the boundaries of knowledge in science and arts. Their bold and innovative work sets them apart as future leaders in their fields, and we are confident that they too will contribute greatly to the betterment of society. May these emerging scholars and all of us serve as living examples of the creative intelligence and rich human qualities that our universities nurture, striving not only to excel professionally, but also to embody the highest ethical standards in our personal and civic lives. Though distance separates us today, from Hong Kong to Montreal, my heart and thoughts are with you as I extend my sincerest congratulations. With heartfelt admiration and best wishes, Sir Fraser Stoddart, President of the World Cultural Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Yagi. I'm now pleased to introduce Dr. Renee Asomoza Palacio, who will present a message on behalf of the founder and president emeritus of the World Cultural Council, Professor Jose Estrada.
Good afternoon. I read this message on behalf of Professor Jose Estrada, founder and president emeritus of the W Cultural Council, distinguished authorities of McGill University, respected laureates, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. The world is going through a deep crisis. The solution does not lie in increasing intellectuality, but in a pursuit of goodness and desire to serve others. The answer must involve strengthening people's values, integrity, and virtues. We have seen how conflicts repeat themselves through history for all common reasons: intolerance to those who are different, injustice toward those who have less power, and unbridled ambition of wealth and influence. Today, we observe exactly the same scenarios. The core of these challenges lies in an ethical vacuum, and this is where higher education can play an essential role. By education, we do not mean training narrow experts or technicians, but humanists, sages, and leaders with a vision. At the foundation of individual and social improvement is education. What concerns me in particular is that the world today is outgrowing the traditional educational structures, a system in which authorities, scholars, and experts pass on their fundamental knowledge, viewpoints, and wisdom. This is often replaced by influences or acquaintances who have viewpoints, opinions, and narrow experiences, but with only shallow foundations. True education is the cornerstone on which a great progressive society can be built, and this takes time, as time is needed before we can harvest the fruit from any seed. Education is a powerful weapon for social good, which is not yet used to the full. It is in these times of crisis that education is the guiding light. As an inspiration for future leaders, today we have the great privilege of recognizing remarkable individuals who, through hard work, persistence, and creativity, have risen to the top of their professions. Professor Eske Willerslev is a great scientist and a leader among his peers. Yet, he is also an ambassador for science who takes time to communicate the richness of science to youth and lay people. Mr. Cónal Creedon, through his writings and creative works, brings color to our imaginations and helps us appreciate beauty in the day-to-day interactions. Our previous winner, Professor Omar Yagi, who is stepping in for the role of WCC president, is demonstrating how basic science can serve humanity by offering solutions of clean water, clean air, and clean energy, which impact our health, happiness, and future. These award winners represent visionaries who have been able to combine a great heart with a brilliant mind. They give hope that despite the dark clouds looming over us, we can forge ahead with the optimism that this world and humankind will outlive its shortcomings. I warmly congratulate this year's award recipients. Thank you very much. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
Thank you, Dr. Asomoza. Now it's time for our splendid trio to delight us once again. They will be performing Variation number 22 from the Goldberg Variations by Bach. Thank you. That inspirational piece of music is the perfect prelude to the presentation of the awards and the reason why we're all here this afternoon. It is a great honor for me to present a short video on the work of Professor Eske Willerslev, winner of the 2024 Albert Einstein World Award of Science.
Eske Willerslev, Professor of Evolutionary Biology at the University of Copenhagen and at the University of Cambridge, has been selected as the winner of the Albert Einstein World Award of Science 2024. The prize is granted in recognition of the numerous breakthroughs in evolutionary genetics Professor Willerslev has made during his highly fruitful career. The award recognizes his pioneering contributions in establishing the field of environmental DNA and the sequencing of ancient DNA to track the origins and interactions of human population groups.
So back in the early 2000s, we discovered what is today known as environmental DNA. We discovered, well, if you take 0.5 gram of sediment soil, right, and you extract the DNA from that soil, you not only get the DNA of the microorganisms in the soil, but also the DNA of the animals and plants. So you can do that on present-day surface soil, we showed that, but you can also go back in time and do it for soil that was once part of the surface tens to hundreds, even millions years ago. Then in 2010, we did the first ancient human genome, and at the time, people generally believed it was impossible to get authentic ancient human DNA. They thought it's impossible to distinguish ancient human DNA from modern contaminant DNA. But we showed that was indeed possible and that you can create, you can say, the genome of an extinct person, of an ancient person, in this case 4,000 years old. And we and others have used this approach to revisit our human history and found out that opposite the general beliefs, humans have been moving across the globe, as far back in time as we can track it, meeting each other, mixing with each other, spreading out again, replacing each other. So a very, you can say, dynamic human history. And that the genetic diversity that we know of today is for most parts very recent, only a few thousand years old. By accident almost, we discovered that when you retrieve the human DNA from the teeth, from the human skeletons, from the teeth, you're not only getting the DNA of the human, but also the pathogens, bacteria and viruses that human was carrying at the time of death. Even though there's no evidence of the person being sick through, you can say, the skeleton of teeth remains, right? And we discovered that there existed epidemics thousands of years earlier than what people previously thought.
Professor Eske Willerslev's wide-ranging research has deepened understanding of our species' origins and expansion around the globe and impacted diverse disciplines, from archaeology and climate science to ecology and medicine. He generously shares his research findings with the wider public across multiple platforms, skillfully communicating complex scientific concepts in a highly accessible and lively manner. Beyond his research and outreach efforts, Professor Willerslev is a charismatic, energetic, and inspirational leader who encourages young researchers to pursue their scientific endeavors with integrity and a focus on practical societal impact, fostering a positive environment within and outside the scientific community.
I kindly invite Professor Christopher Manfredi, Professor Omar Yagi, and Dr. Esteban Wild to present the 2024 Albert Einstein World Award of Sciences to Professor Eske Willerslev. Professor Willerslev. Professor Willerslev will now present his acceptance speech.
Thank you. General Prize Committee, fellow scientists, prize winners, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for awarding me the Albert Einstein World Award of Science. When I got the news, I couldn't believe it. I'm so proud and honored. I see the award as a great acknowledgement of the scientific fields of ancient human genomics, pathogen genomics, and environmental DNA, fields that I spent my entire career on. These fields are revolutionizing the way we understand ourselves as humans and the world surrounding us. Through this science, we have learned that our species has been mobile as far back as we can track human history, and that the world we know of today, with populations located in specific geographical regions, is for the most part very recent. We as humans are all closely related and share a common past and history, something we should not forget in times of conflict. We have also learned that disease outbreaks, like the one we faced recently,
go much further back in time than previously thought, and have shaped our demography and genetics both historically and prehistorically. We have learned that although humans have impacted the environment for tens of thousands of years, so has climate, likely to a much larger extent. Nature has responded to these climatic changes of the past, making it possible for us, through science, to understand how climate adaptations takes place and ultimately allowing us to mitigate some of the effects of global warming. The latter part is in its infancy, but I hold great hope that the past environmental genomics will provide some of the solution to the climate change threat. For example, in relation to food security, although it's important to remember that one approach can never stand alone when facing global disruption. It is important for me to emphasize that research is seldom, if ever, done by a single person, and that the discoveries that helped me obtain this prestigious award are the collaborative efforts of many people. I would particularly like to thank my past and present colleagues at Geogenetics, the Globe Institute at the University of Copenhagen, my colleagues at the University of Cambridge in the UK, and my colleagues at Marum in Bremen. Without them, none of this would have been possible. I would also like to thank my collaborators in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and across the Americas. I would like to thank my funders, particularly the Danish National Research Foundation, the Lundbeck Foundation, the Carlsberg Foundation, the Novo Nordisk Foundation, Frederik Poulsen, and the Wellcome Trust, who have shown trust in me and my group at Geogenetics for many years. I would also like to thank the indigenous communities around the world that I've collaborated with, which has been a life-changing experience for me. Finally, I would like to thank my wife, Ulrike, and my two sons, Rasken and Bror, for being patient with me when I've been absorbed in my science. Thank you again for giving me and my collaborators the great honor of receiving this prestigious prize for our work. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Willerslev. I know I speak for everyone in this room when I offer you my sincere congratulations, not only for the award, but for all of your accomplishments. And now, to pay tribute to you and for your award, I'd like to once again welcome this magnificent trio. They will be playing or performing variation number 4 from the Goldberg Variations by Bach as a tribute to you and your award. Thank you. Thank you. It is now time for another video to see the wonderful works of someone's life's journey played out on the screen. I would like now to present the achievements of Cónal Creedon, winner of the 2024 Leonardo da Vinci World Award of Arts.
Cónal Creedon's diverse and eclectic body of work is inspired by what he describes as the spaghetti bowl of streets in downtown Cork City, where his family has lived and traded for generations. Through his creative collaborations, Cónal brings together the various strands of music, theatre, film and spoken word into a colourful tapestry of creativity.
I take her by the hand, and on we make our way to the brow of Patrick's Hill. There we stop, look back down onto the goldfish bowl, we don't turn to salt. We climb the wall at Bell's Field. There before us is a world framed by the salt and pepper cellars, the belfries of St. Anne's and the North Cathedral. Breathe it in, I say.
With extracts of his work translated into a number of languages, including Chinese, Bulgarian, Italian, German, and his stage plays produced in China, the United States, and Europe, Cónal's forensic exploration of his tightly knit neighbourhood offers a fascinating insight into the universal nature of the human condition. The global appeal of Cónal's work becomes apparent in the ease of his engagement with international audiences. But above all, it is the quality of his writing that shines through. In recognition of his contribution to the arts, Cónal was appointed Writer-in-Residence and Adjunct Professor of Creative Writing at University College Cork. He is also the recipient of a number of civic honours from his native city, including the Lord Mayor's Culture Award and his appointment as Culture Ambassador.
I gaze out westward, there like a last grasp at life, a setting sun sends flames of reds and orange and yellow licking high up into the sky. My city is a royal town, dressed up in crimsons and gold. I hear the cry of an echo boy, the sound of men walking and whistling their way home from work to the red city of Granabraher. The chimes of an ice cream van across on Spangle Hill. It occurs to me that there is a harmony of movement and colour and sound. The aromatic blending of Murphy's Brewery, Linehan's Sweet Factory, Donnelly's Bakery. This could be heaven, I whisper. Could be, she smiles. Could be. And that's it.
And though his inspiration is firmly rooted in this spaghetti bowl of streets, his worldview is outward and global. When examined in its entirety, Cónal's diverse creative output comes together as a single cohesive body of work that resonates far beyond the inner city streets of his native Cork.
I kindly invite Professor Omar Yagi, Professor Christopher Manfredi, and Dr. Esteban Wild to present the 2024 Leonardo da Vinci World Award of Arts to Cónal Creedon. Mr. Creedon will now deliver his acceptance speech.
Well, salut and bonjour, Montreal. As I was saying last night, je suis rêvé d'être ici. My French isn't great, but we have an expression in Ireland, and the expression is fear gaeilge briste ná béarla cliste, which means that if you must speak a language, it's preferable, I'm trying to do it sort of a gentle way, to speak the Irish language in a broken way rather than clever English language in a Gaeltacht area. But also I'd like to say, I suppose if there is a regret, it's that I don't have a few words of First Nation language, because I must say I find language intriguing. It's a journey into the soul of people, really. So I'm going to say my few words. If you don't mind, I might say a few words in Irish to begin. Well, tá a gcuin uaisle, fáilte romh go léir. Tá an-áthas orm an uair seo a ghlacha ar son mé féin, ar son muintir Corcaigh, agus ar son muintir Éireannach, Gaelach, ar food and down. Basically, that's just saying that gentle people welcome. It's a huge personal honour for me to accept this award. It's actually an honour for my town, my city as well, and it's an honour for Irish people, even though the people don't know about it yet, but they will when I go home. I'm extremely lucky, and I was saying this last night, because I'm able to work at what I love doing without restriction or without compromise, and so it's very humbling to receive this award, from the World Cultural Council for effectively following my own heart, like indulging my own passions, living my own dream, and at times like this, I'm inclined to think about people who didn't have an opportunity such as me, and I'm particularly speaking about a previous generation to me, my parents' generation. They lived, they had a happy life, I'm sure they had a happy life, but they lived comparatively difficult times. And I suppose as a sort of a glimpse into that difficulty, if it's not really difficulty, but into that life, my mother and father, they had 12 children, and I suppose when we speak about creativity, you don't get much more creative than creating 12 people. But my Uncle John and Auntie Greta, that's my father's brother, had 14 children, and my mother comes from a family of 10 daughters. She comes from a family of 10 daughters on what is known as, and we talked about this last night, the Beara Peninsula, which is the most further westerly point in Europe. It's a very, it's the most beautiful place in the world, but it's not an easy place to farm, basically. It's a peninsula out into the wide Atlantic, and it is the most westerly point of Europe, I suppose. And that's where she grew up, and I think of that generation, and I think about how, for example, they are, particularly my mother's people, they willingly set aside their own personal, I suppose, ambitions, their own personal dreams, their own creativity, just to pave the way for me to have my dreams and my creativity. And I suppose, so today, accepting this award, I'd like to accept it basically on behalf of my mother, if I could. And her name was Siobhan was Siobhan Blake. And as we say in the Irish language, Ní bheidh le héad an orísh, you won't see the likes of her again, and that's the truth of it. I'm honoured, I'm privileged, and I'm humbled. I arrived here to Montreal on Sunday night, and I didn't know a soul. And as I was saying yesterday, I now feel that I'm in a room full of friends, and that's an amazing feeling. So I'm not going to thank anybody by name, because invariably I'll leave names out. And when you're dealing with something like the World Cultural Council, it could be an international incident, right? And so I've got to keep it sweet. But what I will say is that I would like to congratulate my fellow traveller, Eske, sweet man, and love his company, and well-deserving, and lovely to share this occasion with you. I think it was Humphrey Bogart, and I'm not sure it was Lauren Bacall, or was it Ingrid Bergman said, we'll always have Paris, but we'll always have Montreal. The thing is that also, of course, Elizabeth Oster, the woman who put me forward for this award from the Irish American Cultural Institute. I first met Elizabeth in 2007 doing a reading tour of the States that was hosted by the Irish American Cultural Institute. And as we were walking home from last night, it reminded me once again of Casablanca. And this could be the beginning of a wonderful relationship, because I would say to her, you know, back then when I met you, did we ever think that something like this would happen? Because it was a very glorious evening last night, and really appreciative to be brought into such a wonderful, gathering of people, and in such a way. Of course, not naming names is very important, but I would really have to acknowledge Lily Hernandez, who is she's the World Cultural Council Secretary General. That's a big title for a huge heart. She basically contacted me, and I guess Eske, back in May, and just guided us through this whole, and it is a journey, and it's a journey and it's a personal journey as well, because you do go through different feelings of, I probably don't deserve this, or else, of course I deserve it, or where else would I be going? And you go through all these different things, and Lily was just quite incredible, and it's just an awful pity she's not here, but we will meet before the year is out, I hope. And then, of course, McGill, who have been really great hosts and welcoming, and it's been a lovely environment, and maybe because it's such a warm occasion, it made it all the more special as an introduction to a city and to a university, and really appreciate the welcome from the various people in McGill. Once again, not going to name names, except for Robin and Megan, who were the people I first met, and they sort of set me thinking, yeah, you'll be okay. They won't kill you. You'll have a great time there. So it's all about introduction, and it's all about people, and really and then finally, just if I could thank one last person, it's Fiona, my partner. Fiona, basically, we've been together for 30 years, and through the good days, the bad days, the swings, the roundabouts, the ups and the downs. And the thing about Fiona, I'd say, is that I always say that she sort of has this amazing ability to laugh in the face of adversity, and I'm the one who keeps seeing adversity, and she's the one who's constantly laughing at me, and I find that a bit disconcerting. And now we're going to talk, and the other thing is that she also has an amazing knack to keep on dancing long after the band have packed up and gone home, and so we're working on that side of our personality, but otherwise it's all good. So I would just say thank you, Fiona. I suppose just to say thank you very much. Céad míle fáilte, as we say in Irish, and I really appreciate this, and it's a very memorable few days in a very memorable city, in a very memorable university. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Creedon. And now again, we will pay tribute to our winner. This winner of the 2024 Leonardo da Vinci Award of Arts. Let us enjoy variation number 5 of the Goldberg Variations by Bach. Thank you. Thank you for another brilliant performance. To borrow the words of Elder Michael Mitchell, that is, there really are good people, and I think we witnessed two wonderful people getting awards, and it was wonderful, and I'm certainly humbled to have been part of that. Now I'd like to invite Professor Gary Marquis, member of the World Cultural Council, to present the winner's book.
So, Honorable McGill University Provost and Executive Vice President Christopher Manfredi, Professor Omar Yagi, members of the World Cultural Council, 2024 laureates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to present the winner's book on behalf of the World Cultural Council interdisciplinary jury. For more than 40 years, the book has traveled the world. Each page bears witness to exceptional women and men who have had positive impact on science, arts, and education for the benefit of humanity, and who generously share their time, skills, capacities, and vision to promote tolerance, peace, and understanding for the well-being of humanity and the environment. The winner's book is highly symbolic. It is a legacy to be handed to the future. The book comprises a compendium of eminent names of those who have inspired us and encouraged us to go further in our own respective fields. Every year, a new page is signed, a new chapter is written, history is made before our eyes. At this time, I would like to invite the winner of the 2024 Albert Einstein World Award of Science, Professor Eske Willerslev, to come to the stage and sign the winner's book in the presence of our witnesses of honor, Provost Christopher Manfredi and Professor Omar Yagi. So, please. Thank you, Professor Willerslev. And now it is my pleasure to ask the winner of the 2024 Leonardo da Vinci World Award of Arts, novelist and collaborative artist Cónal Creedon, to sign the winner's book before our witnesses of honor. So on behalf of the members of the World Cultural Council interdisciplinary jury, I would like to express my congratulations to the laureates. The signing of the winner's book also signals a change in our focus. The WCC has recognized remarkable lifetime accomplishments of our two laureates, but now we turn our attention to the future, and we will be recognizing young scholars who are cultivating a hopeful trajectory toward the future of science, arts, and education. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Marquis, for overseeing the signing of the winner's book. As was now mentioned, in addition to the World Award of Science and the World Award of Arts each year, the World Cultural Council invites nominations from the host institution for special recognition diplomas. These awards recognize individuals who have shown outstanding performance early in their careers through their groundbreaking and impactful work. Today, I'm very pleased to announce that the World Cultural Council will grant special acknowledgements to 4 promising young research leaders from McGill University. I would like to invite McGill's Vice President of Research and Innovation, Dominique Berube, forward to introduce these scholars.
So it's my great honor to introduce the 4 emerging McGill research leaders who will receive special recognition diplomas from the World Cultural Council. I will invite these scholars to come forward one by one to receive their special recognition diplomas. I first invite Professor Alicia Botswin-Kite to approach the stage to receive a diploma. So, you have the time. Alicia Botswin-Kite is an assistant professor in the School of Social Work. She is a transformative force in the fields of child welfare, racial disparities, anti-Black racism, and community engagement. Her research on anti-Black racism in the health, education, child welfare, and justice sectors has played a pivotal role in shaping policy and practice. In her pursuit of social justice for Black communities, Botswin-Kite has made significant contribution to the understanding of the challenges faced by Black children and their communities in Canada and abroad. As a trailblazer in community engagement and by bridging linguistic and cultural divides, her work resonates far beyond traditional academic boundaries. It is my... Oh, sorry. Congratulations. I was too quick. Picture, you can have the diploma. So this time, that's the right moment. It is my pleasure to call to the stage Professor Jin Guo. Jin Guo is an associate professor in the School of Computer Science at McGill University. Her research centers on facilitating software stakeholders with diverse backgrounds to collaboratively approach crucial technical design and domain knowledge during the development of complex software systems. Her interdisciplinary work spans software engineering, human-computer interaction, and applied machine learning, and she has made significant contributions to various computing communities. Since 2018, she has co-led the Software Technology Lab at McGill University. Her recent work focuses on advancing the process of software documentation, authoring, and retrieval, as well as enhancing collaboration between stakeholders toward open source software usability. Congratulations. And though she cannot be with us here today, unfortunately, Professor Christy Ironside is granted special recognition also. Christy Ironside is an associate professor of Russian history in the Department of History and Classical Studies. She is internationally recognized as a leading economic historian in her field. An award-winning scholar with an established international reputation and extensive international networks, her research focuses on her political, economic, and social history of Russia and the USSR in the 20th century. Of particular interest to Ironside are the topics of the relationship of Russia and the USSR to international copyright protections, Russia's economic transformation from the late Soviet period to today, and the pursuit of Soviet soft power under Joseph Stalin. She frequently provides media commentary, helping to translate the developments in the Russian economy and society to a broad, non-academic audience. Congratulations. And now it is my pleasure to call to the stage Nagisa Mahmoudi. Nagisa Mahmoudi is an assistant professor at the Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences at McGill University. Her research seeks to unravel the interplay between organic carbon and marine microbes to understand the cycling and distribution of carbon in the oceans. Her research program integrates novel approaches from the fields of experimental microbiology, molecular biology, and isotope geochemistry to uncover what microorganisms are eating in the ocean and understand the principles that underlie these processes. Her groundbreaking research has yielded invaluable insights into how microorganisms regulate fluxes of matter and energy, greatly influencing the forecasting and management of the Earth carbon cycle. Congratulations. Our sincere congratulations to these 4 young scholars. May all your careers continue to be successful and enriched with great accomplishments.
Thank you, Professor Bérubé, for reading the citations and for overseeing the presentation of these special recognitions. And once again, congratulations to all of the winners. I now invite all members of the procession to the stage for a group photo. I welcome the ensemble from the Schulich School of Music to perform Variation Number 9 from the Goldberg Variations by Bach. Now, for one final time this afternoon, I would like to invite McGill Provost and Executive Vice President Academic Christopher Manfredi to deliver the closing remarks.
Thank you. As this afternoon and evening draw to a close, allow me to congratulate once again this evening's award recipients, Cónal, Creedon, and Eske Willerslev, as well as our 4 promising researchers, Alicia Botswain-Kite, Yin Gao, Christy Ironside, and Nagisa Mahmoudi. Thank you as well to Professor Omar Yaghi and all members of the World Cultural Council for your collaboration and for the opportunity to host this 39th annual awards ceremony. This afternoon and early evening has served as a moving testament to the power of the arts and sciences to deepen and enrich our understanding of the world and our place within it. I hope that in highlighting the accomplishments of our honorees, this evening has inspired all of us to forge ahead in our own paths of creativity, inquiry, and discovery, and to hold true to our shared mission of uplifting our societies and advancing our world. On behalf of McGill University, thank you all for being part of this special evening. Merci et bonne soirée.
As we have heard, McGill University and the World Cultural Council share a common vision to recognize and reward groundbreaking science and inspiring education as essential instruments for positively influencing society towards a more sustainable and inspiring future. I'd like to thank you all for being here on behalf of the World Cultural Council and McGill University. You are all invited to the main hall for a cocktail where you can celebrate with our laureates and our award winners of a special recognition. I would now ask you to rise as for the closing procession, my apologies, and for the final musical production or performance, we have the first movement from String Trio in E-flat, once again by the McGill Schulich School of Music, and more specifically, that one is from Beethoven and not Bach this time. Please enjoy it. Thank you again for being here to share this wonderful afternoon.